Well, we've been pressure washing and pulling plates off and pressure washing and for like, I don't know, probably at least a good 2.5 hours now. Man, what a greasy mess. And I know for all you people start running the guy down, this guy's probably one of the best. He's the best friend I've ever had, this guy right here. I mean, this guy would do anything, give the shirt off his back. And he's like me, he gets overwhelmed with work and he has so much stuff going on at one time he just can't keep track of it all. Anyway, I got down in there as best I could. I didn't want to pull that transmission belly pan. That's quite a project, getting that one off. I mean, you got to pull the steps. I mean, it's quite a project to get that one off. I mean, all these bolts here. I mean, it's a great big long heavy one. But as you can see, I'll go on the other side. Maybe you can see a little better. Now we're gonna start working on stuff. Get the turbo off. Get the turbo apart. I'm just gonna rebuild that turbo, I think. We'll see how it comes apart though. If it doesn't want to come apart, then we might be changing our plans. Look at the pile of garbage on the ground there. What's a copper washer out of something, huh? Yeah. Oh, they don't give me the easy ones. These finals, there's quad seal, quad packing on this plate, and it's leaking. And I got to get a new seal from Cat. It's a big quad O-ring. I think the right front. I'm trying to remember. I think the left rear might have been leaking too. Yeah. And as you can see, it's kind of been running out of this one too around it. No big deal on that. That's pretty common on these. Okay, well, I think the first thing I want to tackle is I was going to pop this little seal out of the throttle shaft on the injection pump here and fix that. It's just a lip seal is all it is. So it looks like we've got to pull that linkage off. What is that? I think it's half inch, half inch cinch bolt there, and then half inch all the way around on that. Okay, let's do that. It's gonna lose a bunch of the oil in the pump when we pull this off. I'd much rather be working on something like this than some new piece of shit John Deere or something like that. Over-engineered electronic pile of fucking shit. Like I said, we will lose all the oil out of there. That. Gotta look and see here what we got going on. Make sure we don't totally screw up. But, come on. Yeah, I was gonna say, that piece should come off of there, because I don't ever remember that governor piece coming out of there, but it stuck on the seal on me and kind of screwed me a little bit. That's all right. There goes the spring. Get your ass back in there, you son of a bitch. Dirty son of a bitch. Yeah, usually that just slides right off, but it hung up on the shaft and took everything with it. That's no big deal. These pumps are easy. You can rebuild one of these pumps right on the bumper of your service truck with no problem at all. Okay. I'll locate the, yeah, I see what happened there. Gotta locate the stupid spring that fell out. Look at all the gunk laying in the bottom of that. Oh my God, look at the sludge laying in the bottom of that housing. God, these old rigs were tough, you know what? God, they're tough. I gotta locate that spring, knock that seal out, clean both of these parts up. Now I want to put the one piece back in there, and then knock the seal out and at least put the cover back on it. Ah! Gotta find that spring. There it is right there on the belly pan. Well guys, pulled the injection pump out. I've seen this. Kind of glad this happened. Usually when you can pull that cover off without the seal, but I should have pulled it back far enough and took a screwdriver and pulled in on the shaft. This runs your rack, but the end of this shaft, I mean, it's hard for the camera to see this, but I mean, it's got a hell of a step. It is worn really bad. And I got a feeling that's wobbling in there. And if I put a new seal in there, it ain't gonna do any good, because that shaft is moving around like that and it's just gonna leak. So we're gonna take the governor housing off. Air hose. Trying to find what I did with my, I thought I bought my socket set in here. I'm losing my mind here. How can you lose something you never had? Well, let me see what the hell I did with that. I could have swore I brought that in here. Oh, what the hell did I do with it? I got people screaming and hollering at me, but you know, it's just pretty soon you just son of a bitch, what did I do? What the hell did I do with it? Whole socket set's not anywhere to be found. I'm kind of confused right now. Oh, jeez, it's right there. I wish I had time and I would build me some benches, but I never have had any time. I ought to just go get me some card tables or something, you know? Probably be better than nothing. Oh well. This whole place ain't gonna last much longer anyway. This thing's called America, so ain't no sense in getting too wound up about stuff, trying to build stuff and make a business, because it ain't gonna last much longer anyway. Put that out there like that, and then take this, put it like that. There we go. That's the wrong bolt. Is that a long one? No, it's a short one. you got to pull this one and this one to get that off. Okay. It's been a while. I remember now. Boy, this fuel, it's been sitting, the skidder's been sitting a while. Gotta go get a 7/16 end wrench. And get that one loose. Which I have no idea what I did with that. Okay, so these old pumps are pretty nice to work on. But here's your rack right here. And see, this governor will move this to rack. This spring will sit here over this assembly, like so. And this piece here actually sits, okay, as that shaft will go through there and it'll go through this. This piece is keyed to it. That piece will ride on that and push that in and out. But see, this piece is keyed to that. What I wanted to look at was, being that shaft was so worn, I wanted to make sure, if I get a new shaft, I wanted to make sure the housing wasn't destroyed in the end here. And I was just beating my head against the wall. See, there's the hole right there where that shaft will go in, where that'll go in there. Let's see, now it actually, am I looking at this? No, okay, I got it in there the right way, okay. I don't know if I had it upside down or what, but. See that play in there? But I think most of it might be in the shaft. Boy, wouldn't you have thought that that aluminum housing would have worn before it would have worn into that steel shaft? Because I mean, if you look at that shaft, it's really, really worn, pretty bad. Now, is this all one piece? You know, I do have a parts book in there. Oh yeah, I wonder what the availability is on that. So I need this gasket right here. I got a feeling this is all one assembly, more than likely. Man, I just don't trust putting that. Well, I mean, look at right here, the fingernail. That's how worn that is. I just don't think I'm going to do much good there if I put put a new seal in that cover. I mean, the oil was just puking out of that thing bad. And I know what these guys do. They'll get some guy on there that don't check nothing, and he'll run it out of oil and seize it up. So, I guess, let me just put this back on here. That way, that's assembled kind of the way it should be. There goes one of my shims. And everything back here is oil, guys. There's no fuel on this side of it. It's all oil. I've torn quite a few of these old pumps apart over the years, and I sure like working on these old cats. They sure are nice to work on. I mean, everything is built to work on and to last, you know, and easy to work on. You know, Bosch makes really good pumps and injection pumps, but I mean, it's just, those are one of those pumps you don't want to even attempt to rebuild that thing like this. Okay. Anyhow, let me, I guess the next step is, parts availability. I went through one of these pumps on a 980B loader. I mean, I rebuilt the whole pump, I think. Yeah, I went through the whole pump. I pulled the rack, everything out, and went through the whole thing. And I had to piece everything together, but everything was available, pieced together. So through CAT. So yeah, let me see what I can do there, guys, and then I'm gonna order a kit for that turbo. I'll rebuild that turbo. That's not a big deal. So right now I got the parts for this. I need to get the seals for the blade cylinder, seals for the blade cylinder. I'll have to get new O-rings where your oil drain for the turbo drain and all that stuff, and pressure feed as well is this block right here. So, and there's O-rings here. So we'll get new O-rings for these. What else? Yeah, I wonder if I can find this elbow somewhere. I sure would like to change that while I got all this stuff apart. I mean, that thing's a real pile of shit right there. And then I need to get up here on this valve block and pull these hoses loose and pull all these fittings out and replace all those O-ring boss fitting O-rings going into that block. I need to do that. Don't forget that spring. That spring is very important, Warren. And don't forget the cover either, right? That stuff's scattered everywhere. Okay, here's the cover. Okay. Alright guys, I'm gonna go into the office there and look at the parts book out and start writing down a bunch of part numbers. It was puking oil out this throttle shaft seal right here, and the original way this was when I pulled it apart, as it had two lip seals in it, back to back like this in the cover here. Now the guy at CAT, some service mechanic, come out and said, hey, there's an update for that. And I said, and he told my wife that they've been replacing. Now he wasn't real clear to her as to, I mean, because this had two seals back to back in the housing. My thought is, why not, he said that they were using this instead of these. Why not put this in here? Will that fit in there? I'm thinking about putting that in on the inside and then putting one of the lip seals out here. I mean, there's no lip on this, but I mean, will that catch that brass? Will that seal that up? I can't imagine that completely sealing that up. I can maybe see that helping support it maybe, but not really seal it up. I'm just gonna do it like that, guys. Just like so. It ain't just gonna pop back out of there, is it? Just go in just a little bit further with it. A little bit too big of a socket here. Well, let's use some shaft here. Okay. Now, how about we do it like this? Put the lip facing that way to keep the oil in the housing. And then when everything's all said and done, I don't know, I sure like it. I like it. We'll see how it works out, I guess, huh? That's a little bit misleading. The picture I saw on the eBay picture was in a Caterpillar box with the part number on it. It's in a CTP box, which, that's fine. I'm pretty confident with the CTP parts. I've had really good luck with these CTP parts. What that means is Costex tractor parts. Okay, trying to figure out where the top and bottom is. Man, Fort Knox, huh? It's stapled and taped. There's that. CTP. Shaft A, 8N3088. Oh yeah, missing a couple components here, but that's all right. We can take them off this one. Well, looks a little different, doesn't it? So, just looking things over. So obviously, what we got to do here, guys, let me get my handy dandy Leatherman out. Got to do here, pull these little clips off. If I can get my ducks in a row here, I have to get a pick. There's one clip. It's magnetized and sticking to my wheel there. Come on, work with me. Spring loaded here, so yeah. Okay, now see if I can get the last one off here. that, there's that, there's that. Okay, how does this come out of here? Got a spring in here. We're going to have to remove. Is there like an Allen keeper, or what do we got going on here? I see. This. See if we can push this pin out of here. That's retainer for this. Now this should come out. Now this will come out of here. Okay. Just like so. Let's look at the new one. What a difference between the shaft ends between this one and that one. This one's not egg-shaped. Kind of curious as to see. That would have gone in here. Here's the old one. Bunch of play there. See how this one fits. No play. Okay, that's what we're after. Alright, now I gotta figure out how to put all this back together. That obviously went like that. And then this little piece here went down in there. But, let's see here. I gotta get the little round. Okay, the little indentation. And then you have to compress it to get this pin in. Just like so. And that will go and slide over this. And that doesn't seem to be right. Well, it'd have to be, wouldn't it? I mean, it has to keep the keeper in. I don't remember how exactly. Yeah, that's got to be right, like that. I got a book in there too, so if I get too damn confused, I'll go in there and get it out. Man, that wind's whipping today. Okay, so what happens here, guys, is this little spring-loaded, whatever you call that, goes underneath that. See, the square part of this is going to go this way because your spring is going to set here, and then you'll see where the set screw has been against this right here. So that'll go in like so. Don't ask me how I'm going to get the spring in there. Haven't done that yet, but trying to find a place to put the camera here, maybe. Don't know if that's doing any good or not. Okay, so that'll go like that. Alright, and then that spring will go in there and probably do something like this. Yeah, I can get that in there. So now I got to figure out the rest of it here. Okay, so this piece obviously goes in there. Now this piece here, where does it go? We'll get her figured out. That must have been holding which piece here? Well, this piece here obviously goes in. That's key to that. I mean, I got the book, but I can't make heads or tails of their diagrams and stuff, so we'll just figure it out. Okay, so that obviously was around the shaft somehow. Don't know. All right, guys, we're figuring it all out here. Okay, I'll show you what we got going on here. Okay, so you got this sleeve here, and it's got a spacer and a kind of a, I don't know what you call a wave washer there to it. Okay, so this shaft that we replaced new, man, I wish there was a better spot for this. Let me dig it all out, and then maybe I'll show you how it stacks up. Okay, so if you look in here, this piece here, you can see it comes up against this piece here. Now, I'm not even sure what I'd have to get in the book and look up the theory of operation, but it's keyed to there. It can only go in together one way. If you got it like this, then the key's on the wrong side of the shaft, and the keyway's on the wrong side. So it's only going to go one direction. It goes like that right there. And the way this thing's working is what did I do with the sleeve I just took out of there? Am I losing my mind here or what? This little piece here, don't let this fool you though. It looks like it has slots in it for a keyway. There's no key in the shaft. What it does is you can actually kind of see it out here. This will set in here like this. And this little shoulder right here, you can see the shiny spot on it. When this rocks over, that's gonna run that like that. So you can see another thing you can do to tell if you haven't tore one of these apart. See the little marks down in here? There's a mark right there and a mark right there, and that's where the ends of these are sitting. So you can take that, stick it down in there. I don't know if this camera would even pick up this close. I'm gonna try like hell though. So, take this piece, stick it down in there, and then we'll take our shaft and this piece. This piece will actually go in here. There's the keyway slot. Actually, I think this is the styles that I have done on the old D4D cats are a little different. A little different than this. They're not the same. This one's a little bit trickier, it seems like. You just kind of got a lot of things you're trying to line up here. Okay, now my sleeve got on the wrong side, so that's no problem. Go like that. Put that back down there. Okay, that'll go like that. And this spring will go on there. And then you can slide this. I got that cleaned up. I got to clean this end up. The old gasket material, and this will slide over. That whole assembly will slide over here like this. This should move back and forth. It moves the rack back and forth. Yeah. So, okay, let me clean this sealing surface up. I got a new gasket for it. And we'll slide that whole thing on there. Well, she picked this up there. I gave her the engine serial number, my wife. She went up to CAT, got this gasket, and it's wrong. I've tried it every other way. I mean, it should go kind of like that, you know, but it's just the wrong gasket. Or is it? Or am I all screwed? No. I mean, it's close, but it's the wrong gasket. It's just the wrong one. See, that's not the right shape there. It's just wrong. Well, that sucks. Well, we got other things we can do. We can rebuild this hydraulic cylinder for the blade and get it back on there. Let's put this spring in there. If I can get... I was kind of hoping to get that back in there. Maybe I'll go like this and try it this way, maybe. That really didn't seem to work either. It was working better the other way, I guess. What about this end of the bolt? There we go. I like that. Ow. Okay. I might put just a little bit of sealant on this, but this will slide over this like that. Yeah. A little bit of sealant here. And I didn't get a gasket for this. Just forgot, but it's still intact. Just kind of help it a little bit. So I don't know where the camera left off. It was doing some goofy stuff. But anyways, I just slid this over here just for now till I get the right gasket. I'm going to pack this back in the shop. I noticed this bolt was loose on here when I tore this apart, so we got to tighten that up. I better do that right now. But what we can do now is repack the blade cylinder. I have all the seals for that. Get it back on there. The other day I took this blade valve block all apart and resealed every fitting on it. The bottom one was the one causing all the troubles because somebody had stuck a fitting or an O-ring on an O-ring Boss fitting that was not an O-ring Boss O-ring and smashed it in there. And you can't cuss them too much. I've been out in the middle of nowhere on some logging equipment before and didn't have the right O-ring, and you know what, it slowed the leak down. We put it on there, but the key is go back and fix it and do it right later. Don't just leave it like that. So anyway, so that's what we're gonna do now. We'll go ahead and get this blade cylinder repacked. I'm gonna pack this injection pump, put it back in the shop, keep it out of the... we better tighten that up. That was loose when I tore this thing apart. I was really wanting to get that injection pump in there. Tomorrow's another day, I guess. They probably got the right gasket in stock. I was talking to one of their field mechanics, and he said that he usually packs all these gaskets and everything's in his service truck because there's still a lot of guys running these 518s. Whoa, is that what I'm thinking is happening here? Yep. That's stripped. That sucks. Let's take it apart and see if we can put a thread insert in there or something. Try to fix it. That's probably making a big mess too because it's not tightening up. Or a longer bolt or something to grab a thread. And are these D-rings in here or just O-rings? It almost looks like D-rings to me. I mean, they are hard and brittle though. So that one's stripped out. This one right here. Yep, there's all the threads for it right there. There is actually room down in there for a longer bolt. I don't know if those are D-rings or if those are supposed to be O-rings in here. I mean, they are hard and brittle, man. Holy cow. I might just put a key insert in there or something like that. I can see that leaking like a sieve then, especially between the threads being stripped out here on this bolt and these hard brittle seals in here. I'm kind of betting they're just O-rings that go in there. I think what I'm gonna do, I gotta pull this, let's pull this pipe plug out of here and get this bolt out. There's a pipe plug right here and I can't get the bolt out. Looks like about a 11/16. Wonder if I can get a longer bolt. There's no threads right there. Good old aluminum. Somebody must have probably over tightened it or something. Yeah, I think a longer bolt might work. It's threading down in there. But I don't think I've got any 3/8 bolts that long anyway. So let's figure out how much longer we need, then I'll pick one up in town, I guess. My bolt bin, I think it don't go that long. So I would say that thing's only reaching down that far, that far, and we've got another I would think we'd be able to go about another 1/2 inch longer bolt. We'd probably be fine. So I could probably see if they had one that was a 1/4 inch longer or a 1/2 inch longer. And then if you have to, stack some washers. If it's the bolt they do give you is too long, stack some washers on it and shim it out till you get the right length, as long as you're not bottoming out up against the dead end of that hole, and you crack the case of that injection pump, tightening that thing down. That's where guys got to be careful. And I think the best bet's probably just get the seals from them for these and do it right. Well, we're close anyway. We got the throttle shaft in it and that all sealed up. We just got to get this gasket. And then, you know, something I forgot anyway is I got to get these O-rings too. 1, 2, 3, 4 O-rings here. And then these 2 as well. So, okay, well, we're getting there. Let's do that blade cylinder now. Well, guys, I figured I better end the video the right way. Got to haul butt up to town here, see if they got this gasket, the right one for the injection pump, and then them O-rings, and then maybe I can at least get that pump in there tomorrow and get it running again. And then all I'll be waiting on is the turbo to show up, and then should pretty well have her done then. But anyway, I wanted to show, well, I could still make another video, I guess, but I wanted to show timing the pump and timing it to the engine and getting it running. But I'll do that. I'll do that on another video. So anyways, all right, guys, well, thanks for watching.